Hello there, welcome. It is time to nerd. This is round one of the Evergreen Open, and we have Scott from Zion's Finest up against Josh, also known as Serecrul, and Scott is going to be playing the Cad Cassian list, and Serecrul is going to be playing Thrawn Mando. And I'm excited to see him play this because later on in the event, realized that he's splashing Mando in with his Empire stuff, while the purest of Christophers was playing Mando, the Scoundrel Squad, along with Riff. So both of them have obviously mastered Mando. I feel like I don't fully get the most out of him. I am struggling a bit when I play him. Yeah, he has impactful turns, but the revenge trigger I have trouble getting much out of. So it'll be interesting to see him playing that. He's on the bottom and Scott on the top, and they are playing Never Tell Me the Odds. So should be an interesting matchup. And Omnis was the judge and TO for this event, also recording games, which he'll be putting up on his YouTube channel, Omnis Protocol. Yeah, he made sure that we both got some really good matchups recorded. I will say we realized that there's a bit of a common theme throughout our recorded matches, based on what these high level players ended up bringing to the event. But should be some good games for sure. I'm also testing out a new microphone. I've been having a lot of audio drops from my other microphone, so testing if this one, which I can keep a little bit closer to my face, the other one has a bigger kind of base to it, so it's been a little bit off to the side. But anyway, I can position this one better. Hopefully, it will serve me well. So let me know if you're noticing a drop or increase in audio quality there. I did a sound check. I thought it sounded comparable, but never know. People listen in different ways, and so anyway, let me know. And so, yeah, we'll get on to round one of Evergreen Open 2025. So they'll both be playing with a little bit low force. Cad Cassian having 4, Thrawn Mando having a 5, but both have access to refresh. Of course, Baze and Sharut on their turn, Darth Vader, Fallen Master on his turn, but then Cad, whenever they're getting wounds, he's going to be refreshing 1 or 2 force, depending who has caused the wound. They're getting the X. I think Scott is pulling Baze and Shrewd first, which is not ideal given that they are the access to refresh, but they are, but of course, turn 1 you've got nothing to refresh. It sounds like he's reserved Baze and drawn into Rebel Commandos, which is also not ideal because they are the only one on that top left point. Going up the ladder, hunkering. Sounds like a commando doctrine on that. So we will control the 3. Josh controlling the 2. It's going to get the battle tactic that can give somebody a advance or reposition, depending, but they'll end with strain. But I can see how that would be okay with Mando, as you know, he can get heals off those revenge triggers. Moving up, he's looking at that back point potentially, threatening to go back there. Picking the ISBs now. Yeah, they're under Vader. Bottom left, I believe. So they should be able to move forward, and as long as there's an ingress point that works for them, they'll be able to double up the middle. They're getting to the ladder, up to level 1. Oh, what was... Oh, I guess he reserved... I think he did the reserve repo from Thrawn on ISBs. But I believe... Yeah, I think it's one character in the unit gets to reposition. I think he's repositioned both, but moving them in, drawing into Stormtrooper Sergeant, which is not the greatest pull. It would have been hard for ISBs to get the Rebel Commando off of that point if they're not able to get into melee range. But yeah, Stormtrooper Sergeant definitely had no chance there. So only scoring the 2 on that play, but he is getting quite the threat range on the left side of the board. Scott's going to pull Bazin Shroot out of reserve. Get to refresh that force. Yeah, he's going to flip stances into I am one with the force so that when he uses We've Been in worse cages than this one, they both get the dash instead of one of them getting the reposition. That'll get them up to the ladder. That'll put them in the cover and sharpshooter side. Because, yeah, first activation here, probably going to be doing some ranged attacks. Coming up towards Stormtrooper Sergeant and the Dark Trooper.
So we'll start with Chirrut. We're going to shoot the Dark Troopers. I have 5 dice.
Chirrut is going to shoot the Dark Trooper. I think he's on the left, so probably a little bit better shove angle there.
Oh, I'm going to move this into the wrong tray. Yeah. Okay. 4 blocks. Okay. So I have 3 expertise, which is 2 crits and a pin. So I'm just going to... so the pin won't do anything. So I have 3 crits and 3 hits, so it's just going to be 3 crits. So we're going to do 3 damage.
The 3 crits getting through. 3 damage down to 2. Shove and the expose.
So could you just push him... I
Just gonna push him to the edge. Do the follow-up with Charut.
Yeah, absolutely. Make it easy for you. Yeah, absolutely. And then we're gonna second burst, same as the first. I do not love this dice tray. I don't either. It's very small. And I am exposed this time.
Some complaints about the dice tray being being small. I know they I think they end up changing it out later, so perhaps have to do some more testing with that. See if I can improve that for future.
Oh, I won't be doing 6 for sure. More informing. Yeah. So it's going to be 4 damage. Down to 3. Pin twice. Pin doesn't work, so no. Oh, I'm sorry, push twice. Oh, push. Got it. And expose again.
Getting 4 steps for 4 damage. Another expose for 5 damage, but back down to 4. Get the 2 shoves. Get that Dark Trooper off. He's going to follow up. Another shove. Another follow up. Looks like it's 1 and 1. So tying up that point. 5 damage and exposed, nice on the Dark Troopers. He is scoring 3, so he does have a positive game state there. And as soon as Cassian goes, he can dash Charut on there, but just a matter of if it's before or after Josh gets a second person on there. Josh is getting, I believe, getting Vader. I should. Oh no, that was the dash battle tactic, and then so that's what's moving Vader forward, and then back to we're getting Thrawn.
So we'll start off by spinning a force for. I want you to know utter defeat. Utter defeat. Okay. If I reposition and land within contesting a point, I will gain 3 dice. Cool. So we're gonna go ahead and do that here.
Gonna start off with the active. I want you to know failure, utter defeat. Gets to reposition, and if he ends contesting a point, then he will be adding 3 dice to the attack.
So the goal is to be within 2 of this gentleman while also being on the point. Oh yeah, you're 100%. Yeah.
So he's gonna do the reposition so that he's within 2 of the Dark Trooper, probably hoping to get some heals off of this attack.
We're going to focus, and we are going to punch them with 9 dice. Okay?
Focus and hit them with 9. This will be on Strategic Genius side, which does have a bunch of heals there.
These are in the way. Tiny dice tray. So those count for me, right? No, not today. Oh. Fine. You have a miss down here. Count the block. So I've got 3 block, crit to a hit. Okay, so we're gonna remove this and we will make it a hit. That is your side. I have 4 expertise, which on this side is 2 crits. Way more expertise than I ever wanted. Yeah. So how many blocks do you have? 3. So it's gonna be 3 down my tree.
Getting 3 steps. So we will be getting a shove out of it. question is, does he want to do the heal or throw something like Drain Expose? It's going to be, yeah, 4, should be 4 damage, I think.
We'll do 3 damage, 2 recovers, a shove, and a dash.
Oh, okay. So he's doing the 2 recovers. So starting middle, then going up. It's a shove, dash, 2 heals.
The dash, we're not going to move the dash too far because I need to be within 2. I will then recover off the second damage.
Okay. And they're at 7 health now, right?
They're 7 health.
Gotcha. Gosh, the glory days when they were 8.
Sandwood protection is still pretty good. So, and then we will shove if you don't mind here.
Yeah, go for it.
You agree that looks like it's
Checking the angle to shove him off.
See it 'cause your hand.
Oh.
So, if you mind if I pick it up as well, leave that there.
Okay.
Because I think you're not up against him. Yeah. I think that should be fine. There was just a question of, if it caught the edge, I think that is fine.
And then I will just, now that I'm here, follow up.
Just gonna follow up forward.
And I would take 2.
Okay.
He could have dashed before the shove if he wanted to
At the end of your turn,
potentially get a better angle.
Jump toward Thrawn.
Now, Boba Fett is going to get a jump towards Thrawn. Because, yeah, that's not off a move action. That is just at the end of the activation.
So Cad is going to spend a force for rocket boots.
Sure. Go up the ladder? Not go up the ladder?
The ladder.
So Cad Bane is going to jump, take the ladder up. Do a move action.
He's range 4, I believe. Is that correct?
He is range 4.
Looks like he'll be
I can't tell.
looking to take a shot.
Either of them? Okay.
Yeah, either Sergeant or Thrawn are in range, so I assume it's going to be on Stormtrooper Sergeant.
We'll shoot the Stormtrooper Sergeant.
Yes, no, the tactic, I don't use coordinated offensive ever. I could use Imperial Firepower if I so choose to, I suppose.
Take a shot at Stormtrooper Sergeant, as expected.
Questionable, I would argue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to take my tray away so I don't do that. But 2 blocks.
Okay. So I have 1 expertise, which is 1 crit.
So 3 down your tree, it looks like.
That's what it looks like to me. So it's going to be 5 damage, jump, and push.
5 damage, jump, shove. Off the 3 steps there on needs no introduction. Jump comes before the shove.
We're just going to... I can't really...
Should be,
super well, but
yeah, should be easy to shove him off there.
push him off. If that works.
I'm wondering if this is in the way.
Nope, there's something we can't quite see on the camera that might be getting in the way of that shove.
See if the push will land on the terrain. Oh yeah.
Maybe the
Yeah, Cad is shoving the
kind of the little leg sticking out of the building there. So they're trying to judge if he's able to land down below, but honest judging is saying that he has to pick the angle before they can definitively say whether or not he can land there. So he's going to try it.
Not gonna change. That was close. Yeah, it was definitely close. All right.
Alright, so he is
We'll make it for point scoring.
he is landing there. I do think he got the wound anyway, so it wasn't going to have a huge effect, but always nice to push people off the proper elevation. Scoring another E there, yeah. Yeah, because it's still 1-1. So, Josh looking at ISBs. They could definitely walk up now, be able to get to that Rebel Commando, I'm sure. Unless they want to be real spicy and run to the other Rebel Commando and try to shove him up. Or they could, or yeah, one of them could go to each. They could each shove a commando off. That would be quite the turn. Get a 4-point flop there. Oh no, we're going with Darth Vader. He can also pretty handily, I think, take that midpoint. So see, I took the ladder from the dash. Gonna do a climb. Go smack that Rebel Commando in the face.
I think we are going to do it. He's going to move like a millimeter and bump into Vader here. We'll leave it like that because terrain's hard. And he's exposed.
So he is doing the active ability, then you will die braver than most. Cost 2 force, only moves him a little bit away from that crate, but does get the expose, so not sure if he's, I mean, he should get, he's got shoves on 1 and 2, should be pretty easy to get, but maybe he's looking for, like, just full trium and get a wound or something.
2 block.
Move these two. With 2 expertise, that gives me a crit and a hit, so it looks like 3 down my tree. Oh, forgive me. Hold on. I manipulate blocks. So I have a block to a fail.
Okay.
So I get 1 more, is that correct? Based on what we're doing there?
So if I had 2 blocks,
So this would, I remove 1 of those blocks, so this will return.
right, and your expertise give you 2 crits, or a crit and a hit,
Crit and hit.
then yeah, that would be 4 steps.
Getting 4 steps through here.
You're good. I appreciate that.
Probably 6.
If we can do
Yeah, that's where they swap out the dice tray. So yeah, so 6 damage. Let's see, shove for sure. We pin strain. He doesn't need the second shove. So that will put them in wound off of strain range. Take that for 3. Scott's pulling Boba Fett. So we could probably if he didn't, it sounds like he has 1 force left, so he must not have wounded the Stormtrooper Sergeant. So he could probably finish him off and move up to the point to take 3.
Looks good to me.
What about the Stormtrooper Sergeant? I don't think so.
Doesn't look like it to me.
So it looks like he has. Who is that? Is that a Dark Trooper? Yeah, it must be a Dark Trooper over there. Which, yeah, they have a bunch of damage on them too. Might be able to finish them off.
Yeah, I think we'll go for the.
Sergeant?
No, I'm not. Oh wait, am I within range of the sergeant? I thought you said I wasn't.
No, you were. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We did measure that. So you're going for the darks. Well, I rolled poorly, so two blocks.
I also rolled poorly, so I've got 3 hits and a crit.
So 2 down your tree.
Yeah, so it's not going to be enough. So it's going to be 3 damage and disarm.
So 2 damage.
Yep. Yeah, I needed 1 more.
Taking a shot at the Dark Trooper, 2 damage and disarm. Getting through.
Oh, they need 1 more damage to die?
They do need 1 more damage to die. I do not believe they're in range 3.
Well, not right now. But I want to check if you could see where 3 is from there.
You would have to basically be on top of Thrawn.
See if he can get into range 3
I think I can basically get.
of the other Dark Troopers that he could potentially throw either disarm or
Spend a force to deal 1 damage to
damage.
and 1 damage to the Stormtrooper Sergeant. Because I wounded with a bounty hunter, I will.
So yeah, it's getting, yeah, putting a damage on Thrawn, putting damage on the Stormtrooper Sergeant, which does wound them. Stormtrooper for 2 force back. So with the wound, Mando will recover his strain, get to reposition.
You are not engaged currently. Okay. So then I will flip that back point, if you would mind flipping control for me. Of course. And then I scored 3, and I gave myself a momentum for wounding.
So we got a momentum off the wound and
You've got Shatter
3
Point,
points.
Mando, and Darks.
Josh getting the shatter point. So determining that the Rebel Commando is not on that middle objective. So Vader could potentially walk away from it.
He will refresh force. He will heal condition, yada yada yada. None of that matters because he has nothing on him. And I get a dash. Do you mind moving him just to where he would be?
Looks like he is going with Vader. Doing the tactic dash. Would have refreshed at force. Can just walk up and take that point that everybody has vacated. Literally, the entire CAD squad is now on the bottom right. So there's really nobody even close to that point. So we should be able, and along with protection and steadfast, should be easily able to hold that point for a long time. Taking 3 there. Leaving the center open, but it is an easy one for him to take back. He's got ISBs in reserve. IG-88 walks up. They just walk up and body it. G88 gets a tactic dash.
His attack is range 5. So you're just looking to be.
Move. I don't think he was within range 5 of any enemy units, so no focus. No free focus off of that. It's gonna move. Contest the center point and do an attack into the ISBs. Looks like he's going to be spending the force for engineer success, yet it eludes me. Add 3 dice. Gonna risk the momentum here. Does he have? Is he are they one-shottable for him? He can get 8 damage if he gets 5 steps through.
Yeah, I have a failure. I have 5 hits, 4 crits, and an expertise. Yep.
Whoa. Okay. 4 crits, 5 hits, and an expertise. How many dice was he adding to that? He had 3?
Well, that's actually really interesting.
Yeah, he added 3 there. 10.
So we're going to push twice, do 8 damage and reposition.
So yeah, it does get the well no, let's see. Is he going for the wound or the I think he's going down the middle track. 5.
Cad Bane will get to heal, so he'll just heal his chariot.
Oh, he might have full treat on that actually. So yeah, the 8 8 damage, 2 shoves, reposition. He's gonna follow up. Reposition to the ladder, seal that back point instead.
Could you slide him just to be in legal range of the ladder?
Cause yeah, I guess yeah. When Cassian goes, a rebel commando will be able to just dash up onto that point or dash back from underneath. So he got the momentum, his 2 force back, his didn't lose the momentum, and yeah, still flipped the 3 there. So
So that is where
so Mando. Yeah, I guess that's the thing with the wound trigger. Mando can just go back, could have just gone back to tie that point anyway, so which would have prevented a flip on that. So makes sense to move forward for that back point because I don't think Mando could follow him that far to prevent that flip. So getting his 3 points.
So we're going to go and do a move action. So we'll climb with this guy, pop up on the other side right here.
Gonna do a move action. Excuse me. Up to the center, beyond the proper elevation. Oh, this is with the Dark Trooper. Okay. The other one's gonna pop up as well. I think that ties it 2-2, but I think Cad looks like an easy shove off potentially.
Into CAD. Let's start with that first. CAD's going to punch into Cad Bane with this guy here. Okay.
Starting with the punch into Cad, I believe. Oops.
Alright, so you said 2 blocks? Yep, these 2 here.
So a lot of expertise, which may give him the jump back.
A crit and a damage, so it looks like 2 down by 3 and a damage. You said he gets a jump. Does he get a heal too?
He gets a heal and a jump, so even the pin isn't going to help keep him off that point.
2 damage shove
Even
him
the pin isn't going to keep him off the point.
I mean, I'm just gonna heal and jump back.
Okay, so wherever you, whatever you want to move him to.
So we're just
I mean, I'm just gonna move
going to do the 3 damage instead of trying to do the shove.
into this pocket.
Get them back in. More difficult to shove.
Definitely didn't need to get the jump. That was a lot of expertise.
Yeah, he needs 3 expertise for it on 5 dice.
I was hoping that gave for the jump because with the pin,
Yeah.
and then the answer is I shove you this way, then I can shove you with the other one actually out of the range with this guy.
Yeah.
Which shoves on one should be reasonably possible, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, now since I don't think I care if you refill or anything, let me think about this.
Just looking at the potential shot into the Rebel Commando.
Fair enough.
Determining if he cares about Cassian's reposition if he gets the wound here.
That is the only revenge trigger you currently have, correct?
Correct. It's just
Everyone's pretty much on objectives that they would want to be on, other than the Rebel Commandos. So, I mean, Cassian could maybe protect his back point, I guess, but it's not a huge concern, I don't think.
okay. Which one would you like to shoot? I think you have range to either. You do have, yeah, you have range to either.
I'll be genuine. Based on my positioning, I don't know if it really matters, so I will go for the one on the bottom.
Take a shot at the close one.
Below the gantry was my head and word.
Yeah, no. I kind of got what you meant. That is 4 block.
So I got this. This was a range attack with him, which with 2 expertise is 2 hits. I have 5 hits and a crit.
So I have 4 block?
You have 4 blocks?
Yep, 3 and an expertise.
Okay, so that would bring 2 down by 3.
Yep. You only need 2 damage.
Well, I can definitely do that.
They're also already pinned. So.
Yeah. So we'll do 3 damage shove essentially. Because the pin turns into
3 damage and a shove.
They will be wounded.
I think they got a dash, which is going to heal off the pin.
You have a trigger.
I do have a trigger.
Cassian gets a reposition, or gives a reposition to somebody.
Interesting. Okay. I think I'll just have Cassian move. Sure. Just to make his life easier.
Yep, as expected. Cassian moving forward up the ladder. So still leaving that top right or top left point open, actually.
Yep. Okay.
Looks like they're landing on 0, both gaining momentum. So I think, yeah, I think it's 5 points away from Scott's momentum and 6 away from Josh's.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say it's you got a centimeter worth of.
That was my intent.
So checking that Mando is in repo range of that top left point. If he does get another wound here at some point. That Dark Trooper up on the center might be a little bit difficult to try and shove off for Cassian, trying to lining up an angle on that.
Okay, so Cassian is going to spend a force for you need to blend in. So he's basically just going to dash over here. Then he can give
So
another.
Cassian's going to do We need to blend in, give himself a dash,
I'm gonna get rid of their N, which is not super relevant,
and
or I
get rid of it.
can if Baze and share to go once over. Yeah, why not? Let's just have
Gonna give
him come over.
Baze the dash
Then we're gonna attack into your Dark
to
Trooper.
the mid-rate.
Well, that's 4 failures. One four blocks. So I'm just gonna be able to convert one hit to a crit. So I'll do 2 damage, which will go down to 1.
Getting just 1 damage after protection through.
You just have your Shatter Point and ISVs left.
I have Commando and ISB.
Commando and ISVs left. All right. We're just going to climb and threaten the point.
So Cassian's just gonna climb up to the center, tie it up. Josh has ISBs and Mando left.
Advancing a dash doesn't give me that.
You also wouldn't be able to dash from there. You'd have to. You wouldn't be able to advance from there. You'd have to advance from here.
You have to go like this, right?
Well, no, I was saying because
I would be
IG88.
attacking first.
Oh, I see.
I'm looking at the second half of my play. So can I wake them up, shove him off the point, advance, dash
I
to get
see.
there?
I got you.
Sorry,
Looking at
attack didn't necessarily matter. Yes.
potentially trying to push IG88
I see. I see.
off the point, allowing him to potentially advance and dash to the point with a commando.
I think I have to try for it. It's the only thing that keeps me in the struggle.
Yeah.
And the answer is I got to go with him. I don't know if there's a better time to do so. So we're gonna go with Ice Beast. Wake up.
So ISB's gonna wake up
He has any? He doesn't have laughter or any crazy stuff.
No, he just has
and
reason, 3 expertise.
punch IG88. Thing is, he wants to use the dash after, so he's not gonna have the focus either.
Let's do this smart. We will start by spending 2 force for assault tactics.
Okay.
Okay, he is going to do assault tactics first. This one's gonna dash. This the other one. Yeah, gonna go to the ingress point and up. So this is, so they're taking the damage for the focus. This is critical play because he's looking to flip 2 points here and potentially move the struggle his way.
That's 1 block, 2 expertise, which is 3 total block.
So 1. Wait, no, hold on.
2.
I have 5, so 2. Which is 2 damage and a shove.
Getting 2 through for 2 damage and a shove.
Yeah, I'm totally fine. You want to just.
Getting to the edge.
This guy's gonna punch him for 8.
Okay.
Oh, so that was the shot. So that's good. Now it's the melee attack that should be able to get him off of that point.
2 blocks.
Okay. So move this over, and an extra. So I got 2 plus whatever 1 expertise is, which is a crit, so 3 down my tree.
Okay.
Getting 3 downs. That'll get his
3 damage.
shove. Get him off there. Now the other one just has to, because yeah, I think commandos are wounded. So He's going to follow up centered on the point-ish,
5 was in range.
touching the point. And then the test. Yeah, just going to get on there. Simply take it, flip 2, score 4. Scott is going to shatterpoint his commandos. He's looking to wound the ISBs. That'll flip the 2 points back. They will get sharpshooter and impact. The ISBs do have protection while engaged because of Thrawn, since they have an injured token. So he's going to get out of range, so it's a shot. And I assume, yeah, no longer engaged.
We're going to start with this one.
Needs basically 4 steps through on one of them at least. Depending if they've got protection or not.
No, but I rolled okay.
I have 6.
So 4.
You have 4 blocks?
No, you have 4 advantages.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it sounds like he's getting 4 through on this one. So that'll be the 5 damage. Pin, push, disarm, reposition. Push him off the point, so we'll for sure score that one. That one's going to shoot, try to finish him off.
A 3 expertise will again just become 2 hits. So I've got.
So whatever's
It is
not,
literally exactly the same. It's 6 hits.
I have 2 blocks. So
It's exactly the same.
Same result again. I'll definitely get the wound.
How much do I need to wound?
2.
So I'm going to do 2 damage, pin, push twice, or I'm sorry, 3 damage and heal twice.
Just going to take the bottom for 2 shoves, pin again, but get 2 heals. Maybe some conditions to get off. Unless he had to take a strain or something. So getting the momentum.
When I wound, I will recover a health. And Cad Bane will heal himself for 1.
So Cad Bane getting a refresh and a recover.
I don't know, with challenging the odds, it won't happen after the attack, but does your revenge trigger happen before that? Okay, so Mando's revenge trigger, and then I will decide on challenging the odds. Is that true on this, that challenging the odds would happen after your opponent's revenge triggers? That's what I think, but I just want to make sure.
Oh, it's when you wound the enemy, so I suppose.
It'd be right now?
Yeah, so, yeah,
Okay, then I will spend the force I just got to challenge the odds and move this 1 towards me.
So he said he's spending the force he just got in order to challenge the odds. But I think that challenging the odds is supposed to happen right when you wound. So when the damage pool is applied, and Cad Bane's force refresh would happen at the after the effect is resolved. So that's like 10C step, I think. Whereas damage pool is step 9. So I think challenging the odds happens before the refresh, but definitely before the Mando revenge trigger, which was what they were asking about.
Would you like to cut my deck?
A man of your reputation, I sure hope I shouldn't have to.
You will not, but I appreciate it.
So he's gonna go kind of back off to the ingress point. Mando is his next draw, so looks like he's looking. It's gonna be looking to maybe go for the IG-11 point or IG-8 point because he's already got the middle, I think. Oh, but that takes the struggle. So Cassian is gonna blow the town.
Yeah, go for it.
This is my second game ever against Cassian.
Yeah, Cassian's stupid. Two. So anyone contesting.
So 2 damage to everybody on Josh's side that's contesting a point.
Take it once, even though they're contesting 2 points, because I believe it's
So basically, ISBs are wounded.
contesting one or more active.
They won't. I don't know if Mando's contesting, but basically everyone else. Well, Sergeant is wounded as well.
Roll for priority. Block, which is this one over here.
Alright, so it was the side-to-side arrows. So the one that Josh didn't pick is the one where Scott would have been controlling all 3. Makes sense. So this way, so priorities mid left, and which is not, yeah, nobody's on there. Darth Vader is sitting on one of them, so that is great for Josh. And then the giant brawl, bottom right. So I'm not actually sure who is currently controlling that. I think we've got Thrawn, a Dark Trooper, Boba, Cad. Charut is off, I think. It might be tied. Mando, just gonna walk over. He's gonna take a shot on the way. Could take a shot at Cassian. Spending his last force for Clan of 2. Close enough to possible. Well, I'm not sure if you can see IG-88. Could take shots at the Rebel Commandos, but they can get a reposition on their expertise. Looking at the Cassian shot. Yeah, that's where I was thinking, maybe take a shot at Cassian before the dash.
There's the thought process, okay, I can shoot in the hand, they're really weak. If I condition him into relaxation, the problem is all he does is damage and shoves, and is that really doing anything?
I'm gonna do the take cover, get a hunker, her to get off that point. Yeah, Cassian only has the reposition on 4 and light it up, so not a big risk taking a shot at him, but safe this way. Lean into Mando's defensiveness. So Scott's getting his shatter point. It's going to go to the Rebel Commandos. They're just going to be able to
Also, I didn't put it on them, but they should have had a hunker on there, so that probably even more
walk up and body,
these guys would have been a hunker.
outbody the point. Staying out of engagement with the ISB so they don't take extra damage off of their movement.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so 10 dice. We're going to start with this one on the right in Commando.
Take some shots into Mando.
6 dice plus I did take a hunker, so 7.
Why not?
Unfortunately, I don't have enough green dice, so I'm going to have to move blue dice.
Okay, 2 expertise is just 2 hits. So I've got 2 crits, 4 hits.
So I have 3 blocks and a crit to a fail.
Okay, so I'll get 2 steps.
So I get rid of one of your crits and 3
Getting
blocks.
2 through.
So I have 4 hits, 2 crits.
Yep, so 2 down your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to do 2 damage, pin, push.
2 damage, pin push.
Then the other one will shoot.
One same shot.
That is a very similar, except it's going to be 5 hits and 1 crit.
Just the crit, I have 5 blocks. And well, I have 5 blocks crit to hit. Oh, sorry, forgive me, hold on. I am lying. I have 4 blocks, so 2 down here.
So 2 steps.
Getting the 2 steps again.
The exact same. It's going to be
2 damage, pin shove. Or 3 damage. And then they'll do their move action.
But it's nice to be able to have someone already on the point. So I will flip that. No, I don't control that point.
Oh, you're right.
Because you have a Dark Trooper and Thrawn.
It's tied, I forgot.
Yeah, it's tied. So I will score 2, and you get a momentum.
So scoring 2 in a momentum.
Well, that's pretty good.
Is it good?
Josh is getting Mando. Missed the priority roll. Block. Yeah, same spot again. So that is pretty good. Is this a good time to wound no commandos? I don't think IG-88 can reposition to that point, so I think he could. He'd also just move up, plan a 2, push one off, attack, try and push the other one off. Doing a move action to get rid of the pin. So now I'll have to do clan of 2 to get to dash where he wants to go.
Plan of 2.
Oh, right. So this is where having Mando in a team without bounty hunters, scoundrels, Mandalorians is going to be a problem. So yeah, it's going to be hard to put him in a spot where he can actually use the push. while also being on the point. So he has to sit off the point in order to get his clan of 2. And then, I mean, he'll have to push the other one in order to be able to take the point. So if he pushes them, he can do the follow-up. So the push gets one of them off. Do an attack on the other one. This will be ranged. I think they're hunkered. It's going to need 2 shoves, so hopefully in bringing in warm.
That is 4 expertise, which is 1 block and a reposition.
1 block.
Getting the reposition off the defensive expertise.
Which is a crit and a hit, so I have 5 damage.
Well, that's probably what you needed.
Sounds like he's getting 5 steps.
Okay, so we're going to do 6 damage. Double shove. Damage.
They have 7 health left. He's going to do 7 damage. Do the 2 shoves and pin, so that will keep them off the point. Yeah, see, so he could have maybe done the 5 dice attack, but then you're doubling down on needing the wound. You know, the shoves and the wound, or shoves or the wound. It was a safer play this way, but
6 dice getting 5 results on Mando,
yeah.
that's not common.
Yeah, getting 5 through on 6 dice is pretty lucky for that Mando attack. Otherwise, if you didn't get 5 through, they wouldn't be pinned, and then they could have repositioned back on, and he wouldn't have flipped that. So lucky there.
So, I mean, he gives himself and an ally a dash.
Sound like rebel or spy, is that how it works?
Yeah. A base can fit here, correct?
Scott's pulling Cassian, looking at dashing Charut into the mix to flip that point.
And then Cassian gets to move. The question is, so Vader has steadfast and protection.
So he's basically at 10 health, and he's currently hunted.
I think I just say
Vader has steadfast and protection. I think he took 2 damage off the end of the struggle. So basically 7 health probably, plus the protection though. So Cassian's gonna go over towards Mando. I know Mando has some damage on him.
I forgot to use earlier, yeah. But it was actually a blessing because I would have killed him, which I didn't.
So he's gonna get into melee. I assume being all the way.
Beating up on me, Kenny. Why'd you talk me up so much?
I mean, I've heard IC lets you roll a lot of dice. Yep. Okay, 4 expertise is crit, push. So I currently have 3 hits, 2 crits.
So I block all your hits and 1 crit because I have a crit to a fail and 4 bonus.
Okay, so
So he's getting Getting 1 step and a shove. So 2 damage and shove, which is not going to be enough. And yeah, if Mando didn't block that other crit, then he would get the second shove to push him off.
Yep. That's very true. That's true.
Oh, I know. I stopped PTSD.
Okay, so I will take that point.
To your way.
Yep.
Straw.
Gets a point in momentum. So yeah, he needs, yeah, there's 3 different units on that point, so only being able to do 1 attack, he's not going to be able to flip the point he's on, so looking, yeah, gonna do the reserve. Looks like he's picked ISBs, so they will be having their last activation of the game. They'll be able to flip that Mando point, but what else?
Do I play risk?
Served you before.
Yeah.
Could probably move in there and wound Cassian. Oh, mission critical just got called.
All right, I'm
Um,
gonna remove
a commando would be able to reposition onto the point, but still be 3 to 1 in that case.
I'm gonna spend 3 force for assault tactics.
Spending 3 for the assault tactics. Get that dash and focus.
Remove the pin. This one will then do the dash.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mission Critical. Thank you.
You might hand me your 2 tool, please.
Yeah, sure.
Mine's over there, and I don't want to move this. I want it to be engaged as far forward as I can be. There.
Taking the ladder down.
I'm going to then take a damage. Not that it matters.
Yeah.
Focus.
There was a pin she had to shed. Maybe maybe you got rid of the disarm. Yeah, they would have got a disarm from the commandos, so get rid of that. On going to injured.
This guy.
You could potentially, yeah, you could potentially wound the commando and Cassian.
Throw 8 dice.
And Cassian's revenge triggers only once per turn, so probably aiming to finish off the commando first.
That is 4 block.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 in expertise, which is a crit, so 2. Down my tree, which will be a total of 2
Mm,
damage spin.
2 steps for 2 damage and pin. That'll get the wound.
You live with 2 health. Unfortunate. And then I will punch your Republic Commandos.
Oh, that one was into Cassian. Never mind.
You have 1 health.
Yeah, I'm making sure there's nothing that can repo and ruin my day.
Nothing can repo. He gives an advance anyway. So even if he wasn't pinned, he would only get a dash.
Just making sure I'm not missing something.
Yep. 3 expertise is block and a reposition.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, plus a expertise, which is 5 down my tree, so full tree.
Of course, this attack gets the full tree when he only needs to do 1 damage. But I'm sure he'll do pin and expose. Oh, I think that first attack was into IG 88, I think. Make sure he's pinned so that um, he can't reposition onto the point. So they do flip that, and you got the momentum. It looks like the struggle token is right beside the momentum. Scott's getting Cad Bane. SBs have left the board. The ISBs leaving the board is definitely good for Scott, obviously. So I wonder if he just puts Cad in a position to kind of be on an objective that might flip for struggle 3. It sounds like he reserved Cad and is going with Boba Fett. But neither of them could have really flipped Vader's point. So, getting a 5 dice attack into Thrawn from his tactic. So, getting 2 damage through with the 1 step. Gonna focus and attack Thrawn again. Getting 3 damage and disarm through with the 2 steps. Sounds like that got the wound, so Mando can get a reposition, but he's already on the point, so that's not going to have a huge effect. But probably looking at Thrawn's ability to refresh his order deck. Oh, maybe, oh, it sounds like, yeah. It sounds like he got a battle tactic, did advance, and gave Stormtrooper Resurgence just the strain. And pick Stormtrooper Sergeant again. So, can move Dark Troopers around, I guess. But that would give them 1 more damage. looking at, yeah, yeah, deciding against moving the Dark Troopers because they'll take a damage which would put them one away. And then Cad can just wake up and wound them. He's just gonna Sergeant is just gonna hunker that. Um, okay.
We need to do this count is ready to blow.
Right. Town's blown up again. It's the 2 side points. 3 damage, I think he said. Oof.
An active point, correct?
Yes.
And then
Thrawn, he does get wounded.
Vader, Mando, which already took.
so yeah,
He's barely alive.
Tide. So yeah, that's gonna wound the Dark Troopers.
3. This protection only protects attacks.
Oh, you got 3 this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mando also should have taken 3. It should be okay.
So yeah, Darks, Mando, and Vader all taking 3. Yeah. Point with Mando and Cassian on the left. Point with Baze on the right, and then the
Oh no, I agree. It's a dumb, stupid.
bottom left is going to be active. GL88 is possibly still contesting that because I don't think he shoved him off.
Luckily, those momentum's gonna go towards you at least, I suppose.
Okay.
And that means you get all 3? This will be a very quick struggle.
No, because this point is active and the.
Mando's dead.
Oh, Mando's dead. Then yes, I'll get all 3.
Damage killed him.
All right.
Oh,
So
the
I will go ahead
yep,
and
the town blowing up wounded Mando as well.
he is going to focus and attack the Dark Troopers.
Could have gotten, well, yeah. Could have gotten 2 heals and reposition off, I guess, the Darks being wounded, but that wasn't really going to do much. So Scott is starting with all 3 objectives.
It'll be crit out of damage. 3 bucks.
Okay, then that's going to be 4 total damage, disarm. Okay. Including
4 damage and disarm. I'm not sure who that's on, but Cad will heal. Yeah, Mando gets to heal 2 and reposition, but it's just a wounded body moving around. So getting the support or secondary dash, battle tactic. Got the Dark Troopers moving. It is the Dark Troopers, so That is nice. Potential 2-point flip here.
We will do a move action.
So you're gonna move.
On the other side of Sir Blaze.
I actually don't think you can, at least where it's at right now, you
What
can't
about there?
clear it. Yeah, I think that clears it. Yeah.
And then this guy here will do a full move. If I can find the right tool. Where did I leave my tool? Thank you. Lost it. I haven't painted them yet, and they're black, and that's the worst color.
Wait, wasn't he here?
So I used my battle tactic to dash both of them, and he took the last.
Oh, I see. I see.
Sorry,
Okay.
I thought I did alliterate that, but I didn't realize.
You did, and I just,
Okay, cool.
my brain just went, huh?
Gonna do rather than getting up on the proper elevation. Currently, they are gonna get in range, in melee with IG 88. Probably push him off, I guess.
You only need 2 to wound, and I've got 4 dice.
It is
Going for the
possible.
wound
It is
there.
also not possible.
2 expertise is 2 blocks.
Well, with 2 expertise in darts, on a punch, that is a crit, so I have 3 crits.
Okay.
Getting 3 crits through.
How much else does he have?
2.
So you can do 3 damage, 2 pushes, and pin.
So I'm going to just go 1 damage, treat him 1 damage and shove.
Okay, so you're not going to wound.
I'm not going to.
So
The only way to stay in the game.
trying not to wound. Damage and a shove.
I may not have pushed him
Make
off,
sure
so
that no one gets a reposition.
I was concerned that.
That's not the point. That's the point.
Oh, I've done that twice now. So, okay, well, he's off the point either way, so good. My play was okay. See, you're stressing me out, man.
What am I doing?
Awful. The winner of LVO, sir. Your legend pursues you. All right, and now we're going to punch Sir Blaze.
Right. Gonna do the melee attack into Baze.
Okay.
Well,
2 block crit to a hit.
absolutely nothing, which is very unfortunate.
Ooh. No, he doesn't get anything through on that attack.
It's a crit to hit, right?
Yep.
So I think
I was hoping to take both points before they go, but I get just one, which is nice.
I think that's just 1 point for them. Momentum.
Finish out this game, sir.
Another one for mission critical.
Thank you.
But if oh, it looks like, oh yeah, Dark Troopers are leaving the board too. So yeah, I think he's, well, yeah, he just has to move and
Yes, absolutely.
take the 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, good game between 2 very strong players, but Scott finishes it off. It was interesting to see in Struggle 1, I found Scott was playing quite aggressively while Josh was playing much more conservatively. Even I think there was even kind of one or two turns where he kind of just stayed back and only like just kept his 2 points rather than going for the middle to try and flip a 3rd point. And it did make it quite difficult for Scott to um, to try and take his back points. So he did protect those well. Um, Scott did eventually get it, I think, once he pretty much moved his full squad there. And then, but then that did give Darth Vader the opportunity to go sit on that top right point and just sit there with no one even threatening to take it from him for basically the whole game. Um, so that was interesting, yeah, because I think I'm finding with I've had another game since um, this event, and I think like maybe sometimes it's biting me in the butt a little bit to kind of start off so aggressively and go for those back points right away, where they're able to flip them back, and so I'm not keeping the point. So maybe there's something to be said for kind of holding off, and then once they've left that point open and um, at that point aren't going to be able to take it back very easily, then that's when you go grab it. But something to navigate there. I was expecting, because of the way Josh was kind of hanging back, I was kind of expecting Scott to take struggle one a little more quickly, but um, it was difficult to finish off that struggle. Um, the only problem is that Scott has the definitely the more damage focused list. So the longer still things go on, the more damage he's building up, which is what he wants because he's gonna want to be getting kills and get those refreshes and um, yeah, by struggle 3, both sets of supports off the board, stuff like that. Um, so yeah, it's a difficult balance because yeah, you don't want to um, go for broke too early and then kind of run out of gas, but uh, but yeah, allowing that um, damage focused list to the time to get all those attacks in, get that damage out, um, definitely made struggle 3 pretty difficult for Josh. But let me know what you thought of that match, and I'll be trying to get get on to the next one of these games as soon as I can. So look out for more.